To save the GM community a whole lot of time and stress. Crawl under this thing. New bearing, so, and a new shaft. And like I said, I don't really do repair videos. I just want to give you some tips and tricks. Now, getting this on the shaft itself, you can see I greased the shaft. I also greased the inside of the bearing there. You just wiggle it around while applying lots of force, and eventually, I think I got both hands in here and finally popped up there. And watch if your finger's kind of like on the inside a little bit, as it pinched my finger in here as the bearing's kind of like I did a power slide up there. Easiest freaking thing you can do with this is, give me a second to grab the phone. That's stupid. Axle nut socket. I will let you guys know the size, but an axle nut socket, and use it like a slide hammer and pound it on there. I didn't damage it, didn't break it, didn't crack it, nothing. And it's 50 degrees in the garage right now with my heater going. You can hear the blasting. But yeah, impact socket. Easiest freaking thing to do. So, yeah, I couldn't ask for anything easier than that. It's like, damn, there's got to be something, you know. I can't pry against anything with a pry bar. I can't do anything. Yeah, there's got to be something. I want to use a hammer somehow. I want to try and use it through this hole, maybe. I don't know. There's no room to swing on the other side of the firewall. Just impact socket, act like a axle nut socket, and use it like a slide hammer. I also did take the steering, or the, oh my goodness, I can't talk today. You can see the gas pedal and the bracket, which is right there. I took those down just because that's going to give you a whole lot more room, and it doesn't take much more time to remove that stuff. No, give me a second to get out of here. I'm breaking my back. This is my heater, Mr. Heater. 30 to 60,000 BTU. It was 80 bucks or 90 bucks or something at Menards. And it saves you some propane. I got a 20 pounder down there. Getting all icy. But here's the old bearing. And I mean, it is just rough. I mean, it does not want to hardly spin freely. It's all crunchy and nasty, dude. You know, and it's kind of crazy because, you know, it sits like this in there, so you think the dirt would catch all up in here, except for the fact it's up in the shaft. But, yeah, the dirt accumulates on the bottom side when it's like that. It's crazy. And here's our old shaft. If I don't get right in the way of the wind, it just... Oh, now it doesn't do it, but it did it when I picked it up. It falls right on its own all the way down. So, it's pretty junky. The only real slop in it is when it gets towards the bottom, like about here or so, and you grab it from the bottom, get a little twist, and it's got a little bit, most of it feels like it's in it's either in the bottom shaft, which I still haven't connected yet, just, you can't see it, can you? Anyway, I think it's mainly either in the joint at the gearbox, or it's just in the gearbox itself. I could feel some clunking just moving this shaft back and forth a little bit. I already tried to get the new intermediate shaft to mate up inside this shaft to the gearbox, and it is tight as can be. So good luck at that. If some people's might have a little bit easier time getting it in there, but mine is almost like it's a hair too big or something. I gotta keep working on it, because man, that is freaking tough. But we'll get it. And so yeah, I can't wait to see what this new bearing does. I'll give you a little sneak peek of kind of what I've been working on today. I've been working on most of the truck stuff. So it is steel. It's not aluminum, and like the website said, it does need a coating before you can use it. obviously because steel's gonna rust with moisture. So taped off all our stuff, all our ports and mating surfaces, but we painted it. I'll show you the paints out here in the garage. One of them's right here. Universal primer, firmly bonds to top coat, or finally, see, I can't talk today. Firmly bonds top coat to difficult surfaces, and it's pretty quick drying actually. I don't know, it's just the weather, the way the house is heated today, I don't know. It's pretty dang quick drying, except, wherever it is, here it is. Gloss protective enamel. This stuff says it's supposed to take 2 to 4 hours to dry to the touch, and 5 to 9 hours to dry to handle, and whatever, 24 to fully. Every can of paint says 24 or whatever. And you know what? That stuff was able to handle. I mean, it hasn't even been an hour and a half since I painted those. I didn't have the heater going, obviously, because I didn't want to have spray paint fumes getting blasted by the flames. Does pretty good. About 50 degrees in here. Yep, about 50 degrees. So, not too bad, not too bad. The other side's kind of cold with the truck blocking half the garage, but I'm working on this side, so who gives a rat's? And I got the fan blowing it up kind of underneath the truck, so hopefully it helps blow the hot air down and up. But I got the exhaust bracket on today. I noticed every time now when I turn the key on, the headlights would kick on, and the battery, like the voltmeter, would just frickin', drop as soon as the headlights turned on. It sucks. What it ended up being is I forgot to connect the negative terminal down to the block on the ground side, because I don't think I showed it in another video, and maybe I did, I don't know. I'll look through and I'll just edit this out, other than my trash. Changed out the wiring harness. Yeah, I did show it in a video, I remember, because of the freaking corrodedness. But yeah, I didn't end up connecting this guy at the driver's side of the block, so I was like, man, I don't remember doing that. I don't remember seeing that with the little hook on it. And sure enough, it was stuck on top of the gearbox when I was fishing it down. But there are 2 grounds that were already there, and you could double up one of the grounds on the driver's side. And everything's going good. The truck starts up, it runs, no check engine lights from replacing the harness. We didn't bugger anything up. But like I said, the only thing that this harness had is a defective when I got it. It's one of these wires here. Somewhere. Right here. Okay, it goes to the evaporator. Which you can't see that plug either. There you go. That black chunk there. Yeah. I was busted when I got it. But luckily I've got a spare. So, just place that on there and call it a day. But there's no check engine light for that, probably because the AC's not running. I don't even know if it would throw it a code or what, or if the AC just won't turn on because of that, but I don't know, whatever. But yeah, what I did is I got a power seat. Is I mean, this is tight. This is not going anywhere. When people worrying about the dang clock spring, valid reason. I just wound it up all the way around there. And then I moved the seat back, because with the seat all the way back where I drive, I couldn't get the seat belt through here and buckled up. So I moved it forward, clamped it, moved it back so it was nice and tight. So, whoops, bad did. You didn't see that. So, yeah, that's my light too. If y'all are wondering, battery's starting to die a little bit. I've been using it for a few hours now, and it's good light. Strong magnet, and it holds its weight up really well. So I suppose before that dies, I better get this done. But figured I'd give you guys just a freaking heads up because it saved me a world freaking time, you know, so I don't have to insert it and edit and all that shit. I use the biggest axle nut socket I've got, which is a 36 millimeter, which is what my truck uses. So there you go. Save yourself a whole lot of headache, a whole lot of time. I'm very proud of that because that's just, you know, yeah, saves so much time. People are like, oh man, you just wiggle it, you just wiggle it with a lot of force, and it finally gets up in there. Like, no, you just pound it with that impact socket or the axle nut socket, and just right on there. It's like, woohoo, done. So, alrighty.